What's up everyone? Alex here. At this point, a lot of the info from E3 has sunk in, but one game that some players are a bit confused about is Trials of Mana. Is it a new game? Why is it in the Collection of Mana compilation that was released on the Switch? And why is there a remake coming in 2020? At first, I was just as confused as many, but I think it's important to take this time to talk about the Mana series on the SNES as a whole to set the stage for this video. There were a total of 3 Mana games released in Japan around the SNES era, with 2 arriving here in the West. The first game was localized in the West as Final Fantasy Adventure, despite having no connection to the Final Fantasy series. The second game was localized in the West as Secret of Mana, which can be confusing given that it's actually the second game in the series. The third game, which was only until recently called Seiken Densetsu 3, is the Trials of Mana unveiled at Square Enix press conference this week. This is the first ever official localization of Trials of Mana, which is hugely important to note. There is a treasure trove of Squaresoft titles on the SNES, such as the Front Mission series, Live-A-Live, and Bahamut Lagoon that have never seen a Western release. And with the release of Trials of Mana as both a part of the Collection of Mana and a full-on remake, Square Enix might be realizing that they can tap into their classic library and offer them as brand new titles, whether it just be a localized version or a brand new remake. Personally, I'm looking forward to the day when Front Mission Gun Hazard gets localized, and I'm hoping that Square Enix continues to bring us the games we missed out during that era. But which Trials of Mana game should you get? There are legitimate concerns regarding the remake of Trials of Mana, as the Secret of Mana remake was not well received. Couple that with a total lack of multiplayer, and the Trials of Mana found within the Collection of Mana is a bit more of an attractive purchase. At $39.99, you do get 3 games, but you can easily think of the cost as justifying the localization of Trials of Mana, but that's probably just me. Both Secret of Mana and Trials of Mana in the Collection of Mana support multiplayer, with the former supporting up to 3 players simultaneously, and the latter supporting up to 2 players simultaneously. Anyways, the Collection of Mana is already out on the Switch digitally, with a physical release slated to come out on August 27th. But the remake of Trials of Mana is slated to be an early 2020 release on the Switch, promising new leveling and skill systems and modern graphics. What do you all think of Square Enix localizing games that were never officially released in the West before? And if any of the Trials of Mana games interest you, which one will you be picking up? Let me know in the comments below, and I hope you're enjoying our E3 coverage this year. I'm always open to suggestions on how to improve. Thanks a lot.